What's up guys, Oracle of Naya here again to talk about the next set, Ravnica Allegiance. I think this is going to be a super fun set and is going to introduce some variety into standard play. We're also getting some sweet pieces for EDH, possibly modern, and I'm so excited to talk about where I found spots for some of the cards from the new set. So it's 16 days left until pre-release. Here are some of my favorite spoilers from Ravnica Allegiance. So first up we have Rakdos the Showstopper. This card is just insane. I don't mean it's necessarily good, but it's insane. I think this card and a lot of others from Allegiance have really sparked a love of Rakdos in me, and I could definitely see myself playing this guild for pre-release. Now, the Rakdos guild has always been the crazy circus freaks, so the fun, kind of weird card abilities really go along with that, but I think they went over the top with this set, and I really like it. I personally think Rakdos would be great in Limited, and he could be a really fun commander. You're getting a 6/6 demon with flying and trample for 4 in Rakdos. That alone I think is great, and then you have the potential to board wipe. Granted, it's not guaranteed you're going to hit all of your opponent's creatures, but you're very likely to hit a few, and you can obviously protect your own side of the board if you're building around him. You might want to include Spawn of Mayhem. If you want to keep smashing over your opponents in the air, you're getting another Flying Trample Demon for 4 mana, or if you manage to already get some damage into your opponent, you can cast it for 3 mana. The Spectacle cost is going to be so easy to get to in red-black, and once you have the demon out on the field, you're going to guarantee you get your Spectacle cost for all your other cards, as he does 1 damage to each player at the beginning of your upkeep. I like the idea of Demon Tribal, if you could throw in a Doom Whisperer or a Demon of Catastrophes. I know it's high CMC, but I can dream of a Liliana's Contract with no Arcane Adaptation deck, right? Another card I'm excited for is Judith the Scourge Diva. Who doesn't love a Lord of Everything? Now with Midnight Reaper, you're going to get 2 upsides to losing a non-token creature. Your opponents are going to have to choose their removal a little bit more wisely, and you could always run Costly Plunder to ensure the death trigger when they try to Lava Coil, Vraska's Contempt, or otherwise exile your creatures. Speaking of sweet removal, check out Bedevil. Anything that kills a Teferi or Vraska at instant speed is great in my opinion. I don't care what the devotion is. And you also get the added flexibility of destroying a creature or artifact thanks to the sweet blend of the red-black color pie, and I just think it's great and we really needed it in Standard. Pestilent Spirit. Menace, Death Touch. Instants and sorceries you control have Death Touch. It's so good. I want 10 of them. Like, oh, that's a nice Galta you got there. Mind if I shock it? You've got a Lightning Strike, targets a 5/5, doesn't matter. Cosmotronic Wave? Cosmotronic Wave? It has to be my favorite card revealed so far. It really does. Not to say that other guilds don't have cards that I'm certainly super excited for. I've seen some great Azorius cards. I actually have an Azor Sphinx Tribal deck. It's my favorite deck. It's my baby. So Sphinx of Foresight, I was really excited to see. So nice to be able to set up your draws with this in your opening hand. I mean, I would definitely be tempted to keep even a bad opening hand with this in it, because you should be able to fix any mana issues right away. If you do have to draw into it, it's Searcher's Canta on a body. Sure, you don't get the flipped ability, but setting up draws each turn that this is on the field, that's pretty great. And Sphinxes are generally pretty expensive to cast, so I'm excited to see one a little on the lower end. I'll probably be swapping a 6 or 7 drop Sphinx out in my EDH deck for this one. He's really cool. Prime Speaker Vannifar, aka Animated Birthing Pod. Now there's some subtle differences, but taking into account just the ability, this is Birthing Pod, which was banned in Modern just a few years ago. So let's talk about the differences. One, you'll need 2 colors to cast it, whereas Birthing Pod you technically don't need any if you take the 2 life. So I suppose that's a bit more balanced. It's also a creature, so for removal your opponents have access to burn or kill spells and the like, and on top of that being a creature, Prime Speaker has Summoning Sickness, which means your opponents have more time to respond before you can fire this off. Regardless, I think this is going to be a powerful card. Being able to tutor through your entire deck is rare enough in Standard, and it goes directly onto the battlefield. It's also just a tap ability, so you don't need to pay any mana into this like you do with Birthing Pod, so once it's out, it's out. You don't have to worry about any additional costs. I really don't know where this card will see play, but I think it's great. Will it be good in Standard? Who knows? Commander, I'm sure it will have utility. I've already seen talk about a combo here with Intruder Alarm, so if your EDH deck carves out correctly, you can tutor up your way to as big as you want, really. And I'm all about combo-y commander decks, so cool. Simic Ascendancy seems to be really underrated right now. I mean, enchantment removal isn't in every color, so yeah, your Celestia builds can wipe this out with a Knight of Autumn or Invoke the Divine, but can black? Can red? I really think this card has great potential, and it's going to be a lot easier than you think to put 20 counters on your creatures, even in a turn or two in the right Merfolk build with Kamena, right? I've put more than 20 counters in a Simic Turbo Explore deck, and that wasn't even my deck's main focus. I think this could be a great way around control decks for Merfolk or other +1 counter builds. Taking out Swinging is going to avoid your chances of being demolished by a Settle the Wreckage or combat tricks, and if you can establish your board state before a Teferi Turbo Fog, the fog isn't going to help them anymore. Speaking of Turbo Fog and adding fuel to the dumpster fire that is Turbo Fog, who did this? No, I mean it. Who did this? Look, I like having open mana as much as anybody else, but why are we giving Simic the chance to cast out sorceries and creatures without having to hold up mana for counterspells? It's just wrong, and it's printed at uncommon. We aren't even making it hard for them. We're just giving it out for free. Why not? Why not? I don't know, I might give in and build something with Wilderness Reclamation. I want to like it, I really do, but I know how cancerous and obnoxious this will be in practice. While I am pretty anti-Turbo Fog, I still like the idea of some Pillow Forty kind of decks, and I definitely see some potential there with Tithe Taker and Baird combos. You can slow down your opponents while you build up to casting some of the neat higher CMC cards like the Angels or the Sphinxes. But it's weak to removal! There's been roughly 18,000 cards printed in Magic, and every single one of them is weak to some kind of counter or removal. Answering your opponent's board state is just how the game is played. Anyways, that's the cards I've been most impressed with so far. There are many others out there that look great too. The set as a whole will be so much fun. We're so close to pre-release weekend, and I can't wait. I'll be posting a link to my Instagram if you aren't following me already. Also, feel free to like, subscribe, and comment on what your favorite spoilers are from Ravnica Allegiance.